I just decided to cut down many of the slides. So, what is going on? And part of the Max Planck Partner Group at the University of Hyderabad in my lab. It's a very common topic. Everyone knows what is nano, right? Everywhere people talk about nano, nano. So this is what we are doing. So in a way that I hope that I will reach every one of you. Just introduce myself, how I am connected to the Max Planck Institute. I did my PhD in one of the Max Planck Institutes situated in Mainz. And that was 10 years before. So I did my master's at IIT Delhi. I did my MTech, then I moved to Germany for my PhD. And then I worked there as a research scientist for almost 4.5. So I lived almost 7 years in Germany. And then in 2007, I moved to Hyderabad. Now I'm an associate professor of chemistry at the University of Hyderabad. And let me, Dr. Claudia, requested me to introduce about the Max Planck Institute. So the whole day you listen more about Germany universities, but I also want to highlight not about the universities, but particularly about this Max Planck Institutes. These are all one of the prestigious institutes in the world, and there are so many Max Planck Institutes spread all over Germany, and it is governed by the society called Max Planck Society in Germany, MPG. Yeah? And there are so many juniors and senior scientists visit these Max Planck institutes from all over the world. You can see around, this is a survey in 2012, there are around 6,000 junior scientists. What does it mean, junior scientists? Junior scientists means those who are doing PhD. Yeah. And then around 1,000 guest scientists, those after PhD, those who want to do postdoc. It's a, you have a, the system goes like that, you have a bachelor's, then you go for a master's, and then you go for a PhD, okay, and then you go for a postdoc, and then you settle down. You cannot go further. The PhD is the last chance that you can enjoy the student life. After that, you are no longer a student. Yeah? And there are several research students from India. You can see around 638 research senior and junior scientists from India. And you can see from Israel, China, and in the States or Canada, so many places, many people visit there. And it's highly competitive to get into any Max Planck institutes. It's very difficult actually. And if you're having a very good CV, there is a good chance that you can get through. Okay. I'm not scaring you, but actually this is the fact, okay? You can see Max Planck has international research schools called IMPRS. Let me see this direction. Yeah. So there are around 2,700 PhD students. This is a kind of a collaboration between universities, German universities, and the Max Planck Institutes. So I also want to tell one thing which is not in the slide. Germany is a rich country, you all know. But to do research, you need more money. And my personal experience is Max Planck Institute is one of the richest institutes in the world. And even if you compare with the US universities, when I was doing my research there, many professors from the States, they visit and feel that the Max Planck is so rich, they compare with their universities. So it is much richer than normal US universities. Yeah? And relatively speaking, the Max Planck Institutes are richer than the German universities, actually, because the directors are picked up by the Max Planck societies. The smart professors are picked up and given a director position to do world-class research so that they can get Nobel Prize. And they are given more funding. It's good news for the students, so whoever is doing a PhD and postdoc, because if your supervisor is having more money, it means that you have more freedom to do whatever you want to buy to do research. Yeah, money is very, very important to have cutting-edge research, actually. Yeah, and you can see the location of many Max Planck institutes. I mean Max Planck research schools, and you can see the advertisement in the Max Planck web page, and they call candidates to apply, and you can apply, and then if you are shortlisted, you will be called for an interview, and then you can fly there and you can give an interview, and then if you get selected, you can study. and they give a stipend also, so you don't have to spend anything from your pocket actually. It's good. It's a good amount. You can live happily and get your PhD, and if you do very good research. And another comparison which I want to tell you, the Max Planck Institute also now gives kind of diploma. Many students also do diploma. You know, in Germany, diploma, say it's not like our polytechnic diploma, which you do after 10th standard. Okay, in German term, diploma means it's equivalent to our masters. Okay, so normally in German student, they finish diploma, and then you go for a PhD. Okay, and even the diploma is highly research oriented. So many bright diploma students come to Max Planck Institute to do research as a part of their diploma program. Yeah? And you can also think of this one if you're interested in joining for a PhD. Yeah? And of course, you get a first class research training, and there is a good opportunity that you meet world-class professors. Sometime you can meet with Nobel laureates, which is extremely difficult in India. Yeah, in India, of course, you can meet here, but you have to go to IITs or Institutes of Science or TFR to hang around with the top-class professors. Yeah, and it's, you know very well, it is very difficult to go to that place. I mean, that all depends upon the grades which you have. But once you reach here, if you have a good CV, after reaching here, there's a good chance to meet top-level scientists. That's what it means, first-class research training and motivation you get. And it offers, the IMPRS offers PhD courses, as I mentioned before, and we have a state-of-the-art equipments, which is important if you want to do a PhD in engineering and science. Okay, and so the equipments are there, and lots of facilities, and it also provides international environment. For example, when I was doing a PhD, and I was the only Indian in that lab, and then I had 2 Chinese and 1 Russian, and 1 guy from Bulgaria. So you get, you know, opportunity to interact with them, to check their background, how much knowledge they have from their country, and you can compare with them, and you can exchange with them. You know, a lot of fun, not only in research. Yeah, okay. It's a curiosity-driven, you know, process to explore your colleague and from which country they are coming from, and what are the cultural background. You know, it's really fun to do research and spend time in the lab with the international environment. And so that this IMPRS gives. And so you have to submit your application directly to IMPRS, and it selects candidates. This is written really bold letter, you know, the working language is English. So when I was in the Max Planck, when you enter Max Planck Institute, you don't have to speak German. What I noticed is most of the German, they say that I don't speak German, but don't believe that they speak good. I mean, I don't speak English, they say, sorry. But they speak very good English, yeah. So don't underestimate them. But they're so humble, they say, I speak wenig expression, but you know, it's not true. They speak a good amount of English, and then you don't have to worry about language. You can even go to the technical lab assistant, so they all speak English. So this is the environment you get in Max Planck Institute. But this is not the case in universities. In universities, you have to, it's good to have a German language in your, with you, so that you can easily, you know, move things smoothly. So it's good to speak German to a technical staff, but Max Planck Institute, it's not necessary because it's international environment. Okay? And I would also tell you that there are, one of the Max Planck Institute for Computer Science, the director is Indian. So that shows, you know, an example of internationalization of the Max Planck Society. Okay? And so you can go to this web page and you can get some idea about, you know, what are the possibilities you can get. Sorry. And then, so you've seen and heard a lot about, you know, how to go there and do study, and assume that you have entered Germany and you got your PhD degree. What are the opportunities you have afterwards? And this point is very, very important, because once you enter Germany, you will be always taken care of. My personal experience, understand? And The Max Planck India Fellowship is for those who have spent at least 1 year in any Max Planck institutes. You spend 1 year, and then if your age is below 35, unfortunately, I see only young people here, okay? So, but you can just take this message, maybe, after 5-6 years, or, it may be useful for you after if your diploma and a PhD. And one thing I want to tell you that I forgot to tell you, the PhD duration is very short in the Max Planck Institute. And that's the reason they're looking for very smart candidates. For example, I took 2.5 years for my PhD. Yeah, and normally it's maximum 3.5 years. But if you want, you can complete. If you deliver, you can also get PhD in within 2.5 years. But normally in German university, it will take at least 4.5 years to 5 years, like in India. And it's not because they do difficult science and Max Planck Institute, they do simple. It's not like that. This is what I mentioned before. The facility and the money you have in the Max Planck Institute makes everything much faster. You order a chemical or anything today, you get it the next morning in your lab. But if you go to the universities, probably they may take 2-3 days delay. That costs you a lot in the research duration. This is what I mean.